lecture, we will study the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system is a system that includes different organs and tissues that support the development of the baby in the female. Now, we also call this cycle the menstrual cycle, and this menstrual cycle, that is the female reproductive system, completes in 28 days. It is controlled by different hormones. Students, the purpose of the female reproductive system is to prepare the female body for pregnancy. Now, the female reproductive system has parts. Students, the female reproductive system has two parts. The first is external sex organs, and the second is internal sex organs. First, we will study the external sex organs, which are called vulva in females. There are 5 in total: mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, vulvar vestibule, and clitoris. Students, the mons pubis is a soft fatty tissue on the pubic bone. The second organ is the labia majora. The word labia is a Latin word which means lip. The labia majora protects the sex organ. The labia majora also has sweat glands. Now, let's move to the labia minora, which is located inside the labia majora. It surrounds the vagina and the urethral opening. Now, let's move to the vulvar vestibule, which is the central part of the external sex organs. It includes the vagina and urethral opening. Now, let's move to the last part, which is called the clitoris. Students, as I mentioned earlier, the labia minora meets at the clitoris. The clitoris is a very sensitive organ because it has a high concentration of nerve endings, which increases its sensation. The clitoris is homologous to the glans penis, which is the male external organ. Now, let's move to the internal sex organs. Their names are vagina, cervix, uterus, a pair of fallopian tubes, and a pair of ovaries. Let's study each one by one. First, let's move to the vagina. Students, the vagina is a muscular and elastic tube that connects the cervix to the external body. Talking about its functions, during sexual intercourse, the penis delivers sperm into the female body and it travels to the fallopian tubes. Talking about other functions, it has some mucus glands that provide lubrication. In addition, during the menstrual cycle, the menstrual blood is provided through this vaginal part. It also acts as a birth canal during the birth of a baby. The second part is the cervix. Students, the lower cylindrical part of the uterus is called the cervix. The cervix prepares sperm for fertilization. The next part is the fallopian tubes. Students, the fallopian tubes are muscular structures and are funnel-shaped. They are paired organs. The fallopian tubes have 4 parts. The names of these 4 parts are infundibulum, fimbria, ampulla, and isthmus. The lateral end of the fallopian tubes is called the infundibulum, and the finger-like projections in the fallopian tubes are called fimbria. The function of fimbria is to pick up the ova and deliver it to the infundibulum. The third part is the ampulla, where fertilization occurs. Now, what is fertilization? I have already made a detailed lecture on it. You can go to my channel and watch it. I will also provide the link in the description. The fourth part is the isthmus, which connects the tube to the uterus. Now, let's move to part number 4, called the uterus. Students, the uterus is also known as the womb. It is a muscular organ and is pear-shaped. It has 3 layers: the inner glandular layer, the middle thick layer, and the outer thin layer. These 3 layers are maintained by ligaments and open into the vagina, forming the cervical canal. Now, let's move to the last internal sex organ, called the ovaries. Students, The ovaries are the main sex organ of the female. Talking about their functions, the first function of the ovaries is to produce the female gamete, that is, to produce eggs. The second function of the ovaries is to produce female sex hormones, such as estrogen and progesterone. Talking about the size of the ovaries, the size is 2-4 centimeters. They are connected to the uterus and pelvic wall. We divide the ovaries into two zones. One is the outer cortex, and the other is the inner medulla. The outer cortex contains ovarian follicles at different stages of development, and the ovarian follicle secretes estrogen. When the ovarian follicle matures, it releases an egg. Now let's talk about the inner medulla, which contains blood vessels and nerves. Today's question is, what is the other name for the female reproductive cycle? Those who know the answer can tell in the comments below. If you would like to watch my other lectures on topics like the lungs, kidneys, liver, brain and eyes, visit my channel to view my other videos.